Welcome back to Twisted Faith, where we delve into the mysterious and the macabre, uncovering the chilling tales and haunted histories that lurk in the shadows. Today, we're exploring the mysterious and chilling world of West Virginia's most eerie destinations. Located in the heart of Appalachia, West Virginia is a state known for its rugged landscapes and rich history. But beyond its scenic beauty and cultural heritage lies a darker, more eerie side that few dare to explore. West Virginia is home to some of the most chilling and mysterious places in the country. This journey will take you through the state's top creepy locations, where the past refuses to stay buried, and the paranormal becomes palpably real. Prepare yourself for spine-tingling tales of ghostly encounters and haunted history as we delve into West Virginia's most eerie and unsettling sights. Before we enter the realm of the unknown, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out as we uncover the mysteries of creepy places. Remember to like, share, and comment below with your own tales of the supernatural. Number 5. Dingus Tunnel. Tucked away within the unforgiving slopes of the Appalachians lies a dark and narrow passage, known to the locals as the Dingus Tunnel. This sinister corridor, etched into the rugged terrain, holds within its stony walls a history steeped in blood and tragedy, whispering tales of terror to those who dare to traverse its haunted length. The peaceful isolation of Mingo County, West Virginia, was shattered in the late 19th century as the Industrial Revolution clawed its way into the mountains. The Norfolk and Western Railroad, eager to tap into the region's abundant coal reserves, embarked on an ambitious project to carve a railway through the Appalachian wilderness. Thus, in 1892, the Dingus Tunnel was born, a marvel of engineering, stretching over 4/5 of a mile through solid rock. With the construction of the tunnel, the sleepy town of 12 Pole Creek was transformed into a bustling hub. Chinese immigrants and African Americans, along with destitute families seeking work, flocked to the area, lured by the promise of employment. Prosperity seemed within reach, but the influx of foreign laborers sparked resentment among the local populace. Tensions simmered and soon boiled over into violence. The peaceful landscape of Mingo County was soon stained with blood as xenophobic locals took up arms against the newcomers. Ambushes became frighteningly common, with roving bands lying in wait at the tunnel's entrances, picking off those who did not belong. Stories of masked men stopping trains in the dead of night to drag passengers into the shadows and eliminate them in cold blood began to circulate, painting a gruesome picture of life or death around the Dingus Tunnel, earning it the nickname Bloody Mingo. The tunnel's haunted legacy was further cemented by a series of fatal accidents. In 1898, a catastrophic train wreck within the tunnel claimed 7 lives. 7 years later, in 1905, a head-on collision between a fully loaded freight train and a work train echoed through the dark passage, killing 3 more. Each disaster added to the growing tally of souls trapped within the tunnel's confines. By 1913, the Norfolk and Western Railroad had abandoned the Dingus Tunnel, opting for a less perilous route along the gentle grade of the Big Sandy River. The once thriving town of 12 Pole Creek was left to wither. Its residents plunged into poverty as the industry moved on. The tunnel, now devoid of the clattering trains that once passed through it, fell silent, its gaping mouth a reminder of broken promises and shattered dreams. In the 1960s, the tunnel was repurposed for vehicle traffic, its narrow confines barely wide enough to accommodate a single lane. Despite the passage of time, the Dingus Tunnel remained a treacherous thoroughfare, its original construction left largely untouched due to a lack of funds. The Dingus Tunnel is now infamous for the spectral apparitions said to haunt its depths. The ghostly figure of a man has been seen hanging at one end, while the fleeting image of a little girl has been captured in photographs, standing alone in the darkness. Visitors report hearing disembodied voices and the eerie strains of organ music echoing through the tunnel, both with the naked ear and through EVP recordings. The chilling tales of the tunnel's haunted past continue to draw those with a taste for the macabre. To this day, the Dingus Tunnel remains a single-lane passage, a relic of its former glory, and a testament to the enduring spirits of those who met their untimely ends within its cold embrace. Number 4. Ramsdell House. In the late 1850s, a man named Zophar Dean Ramsdell heeded a call to move to Cerrado, West Virginia, an invitation extended by the town's founder, Eli Thayer. Thayer, a fervent abolitionist, sought to populate the area with like-minded individuals to further his mission against slavery. He envisioned Cerrado, located on the southern banks of the Ohio River, as a bastion for abolitionist activity within the slave state of Virginia. Ramsdell, a businessman from Abingdon, Massachusetts, arrived and began the construction of his home in 1857 or 1858. This brick house, the first of its kind in the area, was rumored to be built atop a Native American burial mound. The basement of the home, some whispered, was a secret hideaway for slaves seeking freedom on the Underground Railroad. As the Civil War erupted, Ramsdell quickly joined the Union Army, earning distinction and rising through the ranks. After the war, President Ulysses S. Grant personally requested Ramsdell's help in rebuilding the postal infrastructure in the area. He also served as a state legislator and played a crucial role in establishing free schools for local children. The Ramsdell family owned the house until 1977, after which it was restored in the early 1980s and converted into a small museum. Yet the house's historical significance is overshadowed by its eerie reputation. Many believe its construction atop a burial mound and its role in the Underground Railroad imbued it with restless spirits. Visitors and caretakers report doors opening and closing on their own, lights flickering mysteriously, and inexplicable cold spots. Ghostly apparitions, thought to be the souls of enslaved people who passed through the house, are often seen, and their mournful sounds echo through the halls. There are also whispers of Civil War soldiers and slaves buried on the property, their spirits adding to the house's haunted aura. The house stands as a spectral testament to a turbulent past, where the echoes of history intertwine with the supernatural, creating a chilling narrative that continues to draw those curious about its haunted legacy. Number 3. Lake Shaunie Amusement Park. Lake Shaunie Amusement Park, located in Princeton, West Virginia, opened its doors in 1926 and operated for 62 years until its closure in 1988. The park became infamous for its eerie urban legends, with many believing it to be haunted due to numerous accidental deaths and the land's dark past. The site of the amusement park has a grim history, dating back to 1785 when the lives of Mitchell Clay's children were taken by Native Americans. This tragic event saw 2 of his children killed and scalped, while a third was captured and burned at the stake in Chillicothe, Ohio. Clay, seeking revenge, killed several members of the Native American raiding party with the help of other landowners. In 1926, entrepreneur Conley Trigg Sneedo Sr. bought the land and transformed it into an amusement park for the residents of Mercer County. The park featured attractions such as a Ferris wheel, a swing ride, a swimming pool, a racetrack, concession stands, a dance hall, and cabins for overnight stays. It quickly became a favorite spot for local families, especially those of coal miners. However, the park's dark legacy continued with 2 drowning deaths, and the tragic death of a young girl on the swing ride in 1966. Due to a failed health inspection, the park closed in 1967. In 1985, Gaylord White, a former employee, purchased the land and briefly reopened the park in 1987. Despite initial success, rising insurance costs forced its closure in 1988. During the early 1990s, White's crews discovered numerous Native American artifacts and graves, including 13 skeletons, mostly of elderly people and children, buried long before European settlers arrived. This discovery prompted archaeologists from Marshall University to spend several years excavating the site. While the 2 deaths at Lake Shaunie Amusement Park might be seen as tragic accidents, the site has long been reputed for its paranormal activity, earning it a haunted status. Visitors have reported numerous eerie phenomena, including orbs appearing in photographs, disembodied voices, Native American chanting, unexplained sounds, and even carnival rides moving on their own. One of the most chilling reports involves a full apparition of a man seen in the Ferris wheel's 9th car. The swing ride still on the property is known for its cold spots just above the decayed wooden seats, which have been seen moving on their own by observers from across the park. Gaylord White, who worked at the park in his youth, frequently felt an unseen presence touching his shoulder or arm. His most profound experience occurred while clearing brush after purchasing the land. He saw a full apparition of a young girl in a pink dress with ruffled sleeves, believed to be the spirit of a girl who died on the swing ride in the early 1950s. White was so struck by this encounter that he left his tractor in the field, sensing the girl enjoyed watching it. He has also reported hearing chanting on the property. In October 2005, the park drew national attention when ABC's Scariest Places on Earth filmed there. A psychic contracted by the network refused to stay on the property due to the overwhelming spiritual energy, and film crew members avoided entering the park alone at night due to the unsettling atmosphere. Embracing the park's haunted reputation, White began offering guided paranormal tours during Halloween week, further cementing Lake Shaunie Amusement Park's status as one of America's creepiest places. Number 2. The Blennerhasset Hotel. The Blennerhasset Hotel, a historic gem in Parkersburg, West Virginia, first opened its doors in 1889. Built in the elegant Queen Anne style, it quickly became a symbol of the city's prosperity during the late 1800s, a time when the influx of money from the oil and natural gas industries transformed Parkersburg into a bustling hub. William Chancellor, a notable Parkersburg businessman, designed and constructed the hotel, which soon stood as a grand showpiece of the gaslight era. Originally, the Blennerhasset Hotel featured approximately 50 guest rooms arranged around a central staircase. Common restrooms were located on each of the 4 guest floors, while the kitchen occupied the 5th floor. The area now known as the hotel's game room once housed the First National Bank of Parkersburg and was among the first places to enjoy the luxury of electricity. As Parkersburg grew into a vibrant city, the Blennerhasset became a beacon of elegance, attracting visitors and businessmen from across the country. The hotel was more than just a place to stay. It was an embodiment of the era's innovation and splendor. In 1982, the Blennerhasset Hotel earned a spot on the National Register of Historic Places, acknowledging its architectural and historical significance. A comprehensive restoration followed in 1986, revitalizing the hotel while preserving its rich legacy. Yet, beyond its restored beauty and modern amenities, the Blennerhasset Hotel is known for its numerous hauntings, a reputation it has developed over the years. The historic halls and rooms appear to hold onto the energies of the past, creating a tapestry of ghostly tales that add an intriguing layer to its storied existence. Imagine wandering through the hotel's elegant corridors late at night, only to feel a chilling presence beside you. Guests have reported waking up to see a bellboy from the 1920s or 30s, smiling down at them before vanishing into thin air. Known as the wake-up bellboy, this apparition leaves a lasting impression on all who encounter him. Not all spirits at the Blennerhasset are as courteous. In the library, poltergeists wreak havoc by turning over antique books, upending chairs, and transforming ottomans into makeshift tents. Visitors often feel unseen hands touching them, making the library one of the most haunted spots in the hotel. In the dead of night, blood-curdling screams echo through the hotel, particularly in the library and ballrooms. These screams are believed to belong to a woman tragically killed by a runaway truck decades ago, right where the hotel's library now stands. The ballrooms, with their grand ambiance reminiscent of the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, are not spared from ghostly mischief. Spirits delight in moving dinner settings and hiding items, only to have them reappear in plain sight. In the mirrors of the bar and lobby, reflections of a sea captain can sometimes be seen, believed to be Harmon Blennerhasset himself. Another apparition spotted in the mirrors is a man in a white tuxedo, often seen with a brass-handled walking stick and flowing white hair. As you explore the hotel, you might feel a tug on your clothing near the kitchen, where the ghost of a little newspaper boy from the 1920s roams. He is often seen with his cap and newspaper bag, demanding attention from the living. On the 2nd floor, the scent of lavender perfume lingers in the air, marking the passage of the woman in white, a ghostly figure dressed in 1920s attire, who mysteriously disappears upon entering the elevator. The smoking gentleman occasionally makes his presence known on the 2nd and 3rd floors, as well as at the front of the hotel. Guests report the distinct aroma of an old-fashioned cigar accompanying sightings of a man in a 3-piece gray suit. Remarkably, this ghost bears a striking resemblance to the hotel's former owner, Mr. Chancellor, who passed away in 1909. In the quieter corners of the hotel, mischievous child spirits are often heard giggling and playing pranks on the staff. Maids cleaning rooms find footprints on freshly made beds and hear the ghostly children singing along to holiday music, with Jingle Bells being a particular favorite. A more unsettling phenomenon occurs at precisely 4 a.m. Staff report hearing 3 sharp knocks on the door leading to the main desk and gift shop. When they open the door, no one is there, leaving them puzzled and unnerved by the 4 o'clock knocker. The Blennerhasset Hotel's haunted reputation is further solidified by the kissing bandit, a spirit that leaves women guests waking up with the sensation of being kissed all over their faces, only for the presence to vanish the moment they become aware. The hotel's haunted legacy extends beyond its walls, as the haunted Parkersburg ghost tours reveal spirits all along the tour route. Participants often experience streetlights flickering out as they pass, a phenomenon attributed to telekinetic energy building up in the crowd. With famous ghost sightings and eerie photographs to share, the tour guides ensure that everyone is prepared for an unforgettable encounter with the supernatural. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the Blennerhasset Hotel offers a spine-chilling journey into the unknown, where the past and present intertwine, and the spirits of yesteryear never rest. If you've made it this far, let me know by dropping a number 1 in the comments section. Number 1. TransAlgan Lunatic Asylum. In 1864, just after West Virginia achieved statehood, and as the Civil War was drawing to a close, the TransAlgan Lunatic Asylum opened its doors. The imposing structure, with its Gothic and Tudor Revival architecture, stood ominously against the skyline, hinting at the darkness that would soon envelop its halls. Initially, though, its mission was one of hope and healing. Constructed according to the Kirkbride plan, the asylum was designed by psychiatrist Thomas Kirkbride, who envisioned a therapeutic environment filled with light, fresh air, and nature. The bat wing floor plan featured numerous wings sprawling outward from a central hub, ensuring that every room would be flooded with sunlight when doors were opened. Patients were meant to feel the openness and freedom of the landscape, with rolling hills and open spaces providing a sense of tranquility. Art therapy and performances were integral parts of the hospital's culture, and patients once reminisced fondly about these aspects of their treatment. Kirkbride believed in physical activity as a form of therapy, ensuring that patients were afforded privacy, comfort, and dignity. The asylum, originally designed to house no more than 250 people, boasted its own farm and dairy, providing fresh, nutritious food for all. However, this serene vision quickly faded. As the asylum's reputation grew, so did its population, and soon, the building was teeming with far more than its intended capacity. By the 1950s, the asylum housed over 2,600 patients, leading to dire overcrowding. Rooms that were once cozy and inviting became cramped and suffocating. Bed sharing became a grim reality, with patients allotted just 8 hours of rest before their beds were given to someone else. The reasons for admission were as varied as they were troubling. While many patients genuinely suffered from mental illness, others were committed for reasons that today would seem absurd: asthma, rabies, tuberculosis, or even insubordination to a husband. The asylum became a dumping ground for society's unwanted, as well as those suffering from political and religious excitement. Husbands could easily commit their wives for any reason, and once inside, many women never left. Children often accompanied their mothers and grew up within the asylum's walls, some born into a life of confinement. Orphans were frequently abandoned at the hospital's doorstep, adding to the swelling numbers. As overcrowding worsened, the asylum's initial humane treatment practices gave way to more controversial and brutal methods. Medications like Thorazine were overprescribed, often leaving patients in a catatonic state. Pain treatments included laudanum, an opiate that dulled senses and emotions. Insulin shock therapy and electroconvulsive therapy were employed with alarming regularity. One of the most infamous treatments was the lobotomy, popularized by Dr. Walter Freeman. He conducted transorbital lobotomies, crudely known as ice pick lobotomies, which involved inserting an ice pick-like instrument into the eye socket to sever connections in the brain's prefrontal cortex. For a mere $25 per patient, Freeman performed these procedures before crowds, turning a medical treatment into a grotesque spectacle. The results were often devastating, leaving patients irreversibly changed, incapable of basic self-care, or dead. As the asylum's conditions deteriorated, the suffering of patients escalated. Overworked staff struggled to manage the chaos, and violence among patients became common. Some patients had their lives taken by their peers, their deaths the result of a lethal mix of mental illness, overcrowding, and neglect. Isolation became a common punishment, with patients often confined to solitary cells for days or weeks on end. While some patients eventually left the asylum at their own will, many died within its walls. In many cases, families did not claim the bodies, leaving them to be buried in the asylum cemetery under numbered gravestones. Over time, these markers were removed or repurposed, leaving the identities of the buried forever lost. Little Lily is one of the most well-known spirits. Gladys was sent to the asylum after being brutally assaulted by Civil War soldiers. Pregnant when she arrived, Gladys tragically died during childbirth, leaving her infant alone in the world. The nurses, moved by the baby's plight, named her Lily. Despite their care, Lily contracted pneumonia and died at the tender age of 9. Today, visitors often bring toys and candy to her room. It's said that these offerings sometimes move on their own, and the candy disappears, as if Lily herself is still playing with her visitors. Dean's tale is one of the darkest. Dean was brutally slain by Big Jim and David Mason, two of the asylum's most dangerous inmates. After repeated failed attempts to hang him, they ultimately killed him by forcing his head under a bedpost and jumping on the bed. Dean's spirit is known to be quiet and elusive, especially when the ominous shadows of Big Jim and David appear. Their presence reportedly changes the room's atmosphere, making some people feel ill and deeply uncomfortable. On the upper floors, the notorious figure known as Slewfoot still roams. No one knows the origin of his nickname, but he was infamous for tormenting and taking the lives of people in the upstairs bathroom. To this day, his malevolent spirit is said to haunt that very bathroom and the floor above, a dark specter from a sinister past. The asylum's history with Civil War soldiers adds another layer to its haunted legacy. Many soldiers were admitted to the hospital after the war, housed in what became known as the Civil War Wing. Most of them never left, their spirits doomed to wander the halls for eternity. In the Civil War Wing, another restless soul lingers. Ruth, a female patient with an intense hatred for men, resided among the veterans. Legend has it that even now, her spirit throws objects at any man who dares to enter her domain, her rage undiminished by death. James, a more peaceful spirit, met a quieter end. He managed to avoid trouble during his time at the asylum, but succumbed to a heart attack in an upstairs bathtub. His ghost is said to remain in the asylum, a silent observer of the ongoing supernatural activity. Nurse Elizabeth is another spectral presence. Little is known about her life or her death, but her ghostly form is often seen moving from floor to floor, continuing her eternal rounds, as if still caring for the patients in need. These are just a few of the many souls lost within the asylum's walls, each with a tragic story to tell. Their restless spirits serve as haunting reminders of the suffering that permeated this once hopeful institution. The TransAlgan Lunatic Asylum, once a beacon of hope, now stands as a somber monument to despair and darkness. Its haunted history lingers, a testament to the countless souls who suffered within its corridors, their restless spirits still echoing through the halls, a chilling reminder of the asylum's tragic past. As we conclude our journey through the spine-chilling corners of West Virginia, the haunting echoes of the past linger in the mind. These creepy places, with their spectral apparitions and unsettling histories, remind us of the thin veil between the known and the unknown. Whether you are a skeptic or a believer, the stories of West Virginia's haunted sites offer a glimpse into the state's mysterious and eerie side, where history and legend intertwine. The ghostly tales from these dark corners serve as a chilling reminder of the lives that once were, and the spirits that may still be. This has been Tyler. Thanks for joining me on this chilling exploration of West Virginia's creepiest places. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more haunted histories and chilling tales. Share your thoughts or any ghostly experiences in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stay creepy. Bye for now.